Hello and welcome to Mad About Film. Today I'm going to review Raw, the French film by Julia Ducournau. Let's have a look at the trailer. So Raw, well, the trailer seems to say it all, but in fact it doesn't. The basic premise of the film is that when Justine, the lead character, goes through a start-of-term ritual at veterinary school, she develops a taste for human flesh. This is what the trailer portrayed, and I'm going to get straight to the point of what I think about the film. The trailer doesn't necessarily portray exactly what is in the film. It's more like the film is a slow build towards the climactic finale. And the thing is, the trailer kind of gave this sense of shock and horror and the continued kind of like aspects of cannibalism and all the rest and blah, blah, blah. And I know that a trailer is supposed to draw you in and make you feel kind of fantastical about the idea of what is this shocking film, this is going to be the best thing I've ever seen in the world. But Raw is not that. It is a very interesting perspective and look into teenage psychology and also adulthood, and also just thinking about like how people grow, and they grow with certain pains and they deal with obsession and sisters and siblings, and in fact the cannibalism in the film is slightly the secondary part of Justine's growing pains as such. It is a main focus in the film by no stretch of the imagination. It is called Raw, and the ideas of eating flesh come to the forefront, but the reflection of the film is about how a person, when they're growing up, deals with their family and the rituals of life and how we are supposed to be and portray ourselves as adults. It's just, in this particular case, this lead character has an addiction, or seemingly so, has a problem with cannibalism. The film highlights aspects of sibling rivalry, parental love, two central performances played really well by Garance Marillier and Rumpf. It highlights that kind of first moment you see the guy at college. In this case, the guy is a gay guy, or I should say bisexual guy, in the name of Adrien. Adrien's played by Rabat Nayet Oufella. That's a bit of a mouthful, I can't really say that, but he was in a previous French film that I remember seeing called The Class. Speaking of the vicious scenes where Justine does start to develop a taste for cannibalism and human flesh, it is quite interesting how they do that first kind of scene when that happens. It's a moment where she's eating someone's finger. I won't give the plot away, but the fact is that when she's eating the finger, it looks like she's eating something like a KFC chicken leg, and the ravenous feeling of what she's trying to feel just grows more and more. This addiction, this idea of needing it, this hunger, and it's not just to do with cannibalism, because there's a certain scene where she's chewing her hair, and that's very interesting because it's this idea of addiction and obsession, and I think teenagers go through that's kind of what's highlighted in the film. Overall, the performances and the subtext of the film are really, really good. You know, the ideas of youth and coming into womanhood and the growing pains of adulthood and sort of like going through rituals in university and college, and the challenges that face us every day. I mean, I remember chatting about this with my work colleagues about sort of like there's these weird scenes of parties and like, kind of weird, odd kind of moments of people kind of like licking eyeballs and stuff like that. And it's like, I'm just like, am I getting old? Because this is not a thing for me. I've never really seen anyone lick an eyeball, but I guess I hear it's big in Japan. The film itself is good, and overall is kind of a nice cohesive story, and there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, the direction's good, but I think what I feel hollow about is the fact that I expected something. I wanted it to be kind of more scary, more shocking, more horror as such, and actually that's not what I got. I got something completely different, so I feel somewhat cheated about the whole affair. But one thing I must say is that Garance Marillier's performance as Justine is absolutely brilliant. As a central leading character actress, she's very, very good, and she really, really brings a lot to the role. I think she's a potential rising star for the future. Also, comparisons of this film remind me of the films of Dario Argento, and also a film called Ravenous by Antonia Bird. Not kind of what you expect from the trailer, and actually quite a different film from the trailer. Not exactly a horror, but if you want a mild, freaky horror, and something that's going to deliver something slightly shocking and a bit gruesome, then Raw is your film. For me, it gets 4 out of 5. Check it out, it's on general release now. If you'd like to watch another film, just click here, and thank you for liking and subscribing. Please continue to like and subscribe, and also comment. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks very much.